Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to the webinar, How to Build a Business Case for Automation. Global supply chain transactions are complex by virtue of the number of players that are involved, the number of transactions that are required to move product, the amount of data to ensure that shipments are not held or rejected at the border, or the sheer amount of information that is needed to provide insight into the life cycle of a product. How to manage global trade efficiently is a challenge at most companies, and understanding the role of automation is critically important. I am Ned Blinick, Chief Product Officer and a Principal of Third Wave, and it is my pleasure to bring you this highly informative and engaging presentation with Beth Pride and Renee Rowe. Before we begin, I want to point out some housekeeping issues. The webinar is scheduled for about 60 minutes, and the presentation will take somewhere between 35 and 40 minutes, possibly a little bit longer. And we hope to have ample time for Beth and Renee to answer questions. This webinar is being recorded, and a link to both the slide deck and the recording will be made available shortly after the webinar is concluded. At the lower left of your screen is a section for you to ask questions, so please write the questions and we will try to answer them at the end of the presentation. This presentation is a continuation of a commitment that Third Wave has to the global trade and trade compliance community. When we began these webinars several years ago, we undertook to bring to the trade topics that are both timely and important and can affect the way global trade professionals manage their activities and business. First, there is a safe harbor statement that just basically is to let you know that the statements that we make in this are not of a legal nature and should not be construed that way. The content is subjective and subject to change, so please understand that as we go forward into the meeting. Third Wave is a global trade and trade compliance solution that provides a comprehensive platform that allows our clients to seamlessly and simply manage their global trade business with guided, streamlined processes. Third Wave provides total import management, including purchase order to receipt capability, including purchase order management, shipment planning, logistics execution, trade compliance, and inventory control. And it supports export compliance, which includes sales order control, denied party screening, license management, and free trade qualification. About our speakers. Most of you know Beth. She is president of BPE Global, and Beth brings 25 years of operational expertise in global trade and international logistics to assist BPE Global clients to develop their global trade strategy and implement a strong global trade posture. Beth offers subject matter expertise in brokerage, import operations, export operations, and the development and maintenance of global supply chain security programs. Beth has extensive experience in establishing global trade organizations, developing global trade strategy, and defining and implementing global trade automation solutions. And Beth is very active in AAEI, among other organizations. Renee Rowe is a director of BPE Global, and Renee is armed with over 25 years of practical experience in the field of international trade and is deeply knowledgeable about the challenging regulatory roadblocks associated with cross-border transactions. Initially working in imports of consumer goods and other related items. Renee owned her own import business and has extensive practical operational experience working the global trade and trade compliance areas. Renee is also active in several international trade associations. She is membership chair for the Pacific Association of Importers and Exporters, PAEI, and is an active member of the American Association of Exporters and Importers and the International Compliance Professionals Association. So with that, I'm going to turn it over to Beth and Renee to take it from here.
Thank you, Ned, very much. Today we're going to cover on our agenda, determining if you need GTM automation, gaining buy-in and executive support for GTM, clearly defining your business requirements, identifying must-have functionality, developing test scripts, and avoiding common pitfalls. And as Ned mentioned, we'll be answering questions at the end of the presentation. So if you'd like to broaden the discussion to more general GTM questions, we'd be happy to field those also.